Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to talk to you guys about something that's probably going to make me a few enemies, but what the hell, I make enemies all the time with the stuff I say. And that's this whole idea of glute gimmicks. People talking about, oh, you're not getting enough glute work doing this or that, and so they throw in all these specialized glute training, all these extra lunges, and hip thrust and other exercises that in some cases can be potentially dangerous, such as the hip thrust and the glute bridges and things that people do. I'm sorry guys, I don't see a need for them. They're not necessarily adding glute stimulation beyond what you could be getting from your proper basic exercises. There's simply no reason for you to need to do specialized glute work if you are doing enough weekly volume on your basic exercises. And so all of these glute gimmicks and glute exercises and glute gurus that are out there promoting these things really need to go away. They're perpetrating non-efficient, gimmicky bullshit to a naive demographic.
Brett Contreras has said that he thinks the hip thrust should be a primary exercise. So I looked at it and I started asking, okay, I looked at his argument and then I looked at the exercise itself and I said, okay, is this a good exercise? Looking at the way it's executed, what's going on with it, what muscles are involved. Usually my criteria for a good exercise is usually an exercise where you're standing on your feet, right? Standing on your feet that utilizes a barbell, or an exercise where it moves your body through space, whether it's with a barbell or other weights added. So people are wanting to know my opinion on it. I'm open to the idea. I would sure as hell call it 100 times more useful of an exercise than doing a damn concentration curl. Is it a potentially really valuable exercise that would have a lot of merit by programming as a primary exercise? Maybe so.
Do you think hip thrusts or glute bridges are necessary for someone who also performs squats and deadlifts? Squats and deadlifts do not activate the glutes to a great degree at in-range hip extension, but I've never done any hip thrusts or glute bridges and I don't have a problem with glute development. Would it be beneficial for strength on the squat and deadlift? Alright, hip thrusts and glute bridges are what I recommend for people who have problems with lagging glutes, problems activating the glutes on their other big compounds. I don't personally use those lifts because, as you guys can see from other videos when I turn to the side and things and watch me train, my glutes are very well developed. I have no trouble whatsoever getting very good glute activation on a squat or even a deadlift. So I don't personally need to do additional glute work. In fact, my ass would probably be so enormous I wouldn't be able to find pants of any type to fit into if I isolated my glutes or did extra glute work. Like if I take this exercise super seriously like I think I might, and I feel like the bench that I have is becoming a limiting factor, because I've noticed a lot of the people who do it, they have different benches. They're using those slightly shorter adjustable benches that have a really wide base, because I feel like I almost tip this bench over. Like I have to brace it up against my rack. And it really gives me not an ideal position. You guys notice me adjusting that there and then kind of pulling it in tighter and trying to get set up. And then it wasn't bad from there. This last set, once I got into that position, it wasn't too bad. But again, I feel like I'm almost worried I'm going to slide off the bench, trying to go all the way down. It's just an awkward position. So again, there's going to be a learning curve with these. There's going to be a learning curve, and it is what it is. So I would say you're probably in the same boat. If your glutes seem to be strong, they seem to be well developed from just squatting and deadlifting, there's no need for you to do extra work. Remember, accessory work is just that. It's accessory work to bring up weak points. If a point isn't weak, then wasting accessory work on it might not be the best use of your time. Go find an accessory for something that you actually are weak on that needs improvement. By the way, I have noticed you guys comment about, oh man, he's got a lot of fat on his ass and stuff still. Well, yeah, because I'm 17% body fat still, guys, and that's where I carry my fat. If you guys look at the way my DEXA scan broke it down, like if you were to just go off of things like my arms and legs, I would be much, much leaner. And actually even like my upper ab area and all of that, I don't really carry my fat there. I tend to carry it on my butt, my lower back, the love handle area, the flank area. That's just where I store my fat. And until I get leaner, it's going to be there. And you know what? The thing is, I got the singlet on, and some people are like, oh man, we can see all that. It's like, well, I've got DEXA scans. You can see inside of it too. Remember, accessory work is just that. It's accessory work to bring up weak points. If a point isn't weak, then wasting accessory work on it might not be the best use of your time. Go find an accessory for something that you actually are weak on that needs improvement. Yes, I carry a lot of fat on my ass. I got loose skin on my lower stomach and my ass. But yeah, new exercise for me. It's just one I don't have experience with. So I'm going to have to learn it. I have to learn it. I'm going to have to build a strength base on it, build the motor patterns, use it to help with that muscle memory for the lost muscle in the lower body, and keep moving forward with it. There are exercises that in some cases can be potentially dangerous, such as the hip thrust and the glute bridges and things that people do. I'm sorry guys, I don't see a need for them. Hip thrusts and glute bridges are what I recommend for people who have problems with lagging glutes, problems activating the glutes on their other big compounds. Yes, I carry a lot of fat on my ass. I got loose skin on my lower stomach and my ass. I decided today to try glute bridges. All right, I'm still learning the exercise. I've never done one of these before in my entire life. Sold on the idea with hip thrusts, and I feel like I need the extra posterior chain movement. I will say my hamstrings were lit up after 5 sets of this. And so all of these glute gimmicks and glute exercises and glute gurus that are out there promoting these things really need to go away. They're perpetrating non-efficient, gimmicky bullshit to a naive demographic.